everybody. Dan again. I want to give you a few quick updates on our progress with the new BPMN editor. So I just want to remind you of what it's like in the Spiff Arena interface if you go to like processes, as many as you've done, and check out examples and do like this essentials example. You can go in here and see the program and you can hit start and start it. But if you've done much modeling, you know that like you come in here and make your modifications and then you have to run it separately to see what's going on. And of course, in the new ed editor that we've been working with, that happens automatically. So I can come up here and hit play and we can be running it at the same time that we're, editing the diagram. And we've been working extensively with it. We've got some clients that are using it on a regular basis, so we're getting some kind of feedback, but I can show you like right now, I can come in here and click on the item that, on the task that we're looking at, and I can go edit, launch the editor and edit these instructions, and just say, we'll miss you, Chuck. And save and close that. You'll see it's like immediately available over here. But if I save this task, it just kind of steps us back a bit. I can hit continue and all of the changes are right there in place. So you can like really like debug a diagram very, very quickly. It doesn't make as much of a difference if you're just like in one simple diagram, but if you've got nested diagrams and they're 5 layers deep and it takes you several minutes to get to a certain part that you're trying to test, being able to iterate right there on that task and make those modifications is pretty huge. So we've had a couple of videos about that in the past. I just want to let you know that we're continuing to make it much, much better. It's much more dependable to be in debug mode. But what's even cooler is all of the new features that we've added here in the past couple weeks. One of the best ones is the ability to record a session. So if I want, I can come in here. I've got one recording, and I'll show you that in a second. But I'm gonna record something new. So I'm just gonna click the new and hit record, and I'm gonna start going through the questions. And again, like if this is a pretty deep process that I'm in, it might take me a while to answer. Like say I've got like 20 tasks and I've got to answer questions on each one to get back to where I was. I can kind of record up to a certain point and hit stop. And then anytime I want to get back there, I just come in here and select that recording, hit play. I'm right back at that point again. And I can do multiple recordings. I can do another one. So I'll just select new here and record and answer the questions differently and hit submit, and we end up in a different place. And so now, even though it takes like 20 responses to get back there, anytime I want to, I just select that recording, hit play, I'm back at that spot. So an enormous time saver there. But these recordings give us yet another cool thing that you can do with this process, which is to build automated tests. And these here, we use BPMN again. So I can come in here and look at this process, build a test for this process. And tests will always follow the same basic structure. They make a reference to a data store. This is one of the earlier recordings I make that goes all the way to the end. So if we play this recording, it completes the process. Let me go back and I can show you that. So we go back to user and I select that very first recording that I did and not the 2 new ones, and I play this, it finishes the process. So it goes from beginning all the way to end. And what we do is load that up in the test as a data store here, and then we call the process that we want to test, and we just call it like a call activity, which I think is brilliant. Very nice work, John. And then like we test the results. And this will look, I don't know, maybe a little complicated to some folks, but basically it's a test runner. It's a unit test, a Python unit test, and we can make assertions in it. And all I'm doing here when we run the test is I'm asserting that when we get to the end, the score is 3. And you can see that here. If I click on this task, we can look through and see like what all the variables are, and one of the variables is score, and we know score is 3. So if I just want to assert that, in this given situation, if I answer all the questions correctly, I should get to the end and I should have a score of 3. And yeah, we can just come here and just like anything else, stop. We can run the test, and then if everything goes okay, the test passes. If we had a different uh, assertion, like we were saying, oh no, the score should be 4, and save that, you'll notice we get a failure. And the assertion error is like it's 3, not 4. So these are early days for the tests. I think we'll continue to refine and polish this over time and make these more and more easier and easier to use. But I got to tell you, this is an enormous jump in terms of usability of like building and running these BPMN diagrams. And we're super excited about it and can't wait for you to try it out. You can do all of this stuff. You can do all this stuff at ed. So just go to ed.spiff.works and build your diagram and make a test and save a recording. All this stuff is live, ed.spiff.works. So please check it out, test it, get back to us, let us know what you think. We're eager to hear from you. Thank you so much.